Deep in the remote highlands of Tibet, far above the suffocating noise of modern civilization, there is a monument that defies the very laws of geology and physics. It is not merely a mountain, it is a question mark etched into the Earth's crust. For centuries, we have looked at Mount Kailash through the lens of religion, calling it the throne of Shiva or the navel of the world. But today, we must look through a different lens, the lens of planetary engineering and cosmic frequency. Why is it that thousands have stood atop the summit of Everest, yet not a single human soul has ever conquered the peak of Kailash? Is it simply out of respect for the divine, or is there a physical barrier, an energetic wall, that we are not yet evolved enough to cross? Consider the numbers that we uncovered in our previous journey, numbers that sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The distance from Mount Kailash to the mysterious monoliths of Stonehenge is exactly 6,666 kilometers. From this Tibetan peak to the exact point of the North Pole, again, exactly 6,666 kilometers. And to the South Pole, it is exactly double that distance, 13,332 kilometers. This is not a coincidence. This is a mathematical blueprint. In the language of sacred geometry, these numbers represent a specific harmonic resonance. If the Earth is a living biological entity, then Mount Kailash is its crown chakra, the ultimate antenna designed to receive and broadcast energy from the cosmos. This is the Axis Mundi, the center of the global grid, a pivot point that stabilizes the magnetic field of our entire planet. But what does this mean for us, the biological inhabitants of this grid? To answer that, we must step into the forbidden zone, where time itself begins to bend. We live in an age of electronic fog. Our bodies are constantly bombarded by the dissonant frequencies of Wi-Fi, 5G, and the chaotic hum of industrial cities. These vibrations are out of sync with our natural biology, leading to what we call modern stress, anxiety, and cellular decay. But at the foot of Mount Kailash, the background radiation of the universe sounds different. Russian researchers and independent sound engineers have measured a consistent, resonant pulse near the base of the mountain that aligns with 432 Hz. In the realm of sound healing, 432 Hz is known as the Verdi's A, or the nature's frequency. It is a harmonic that vibrates in perfect synchronization with the golden ratio, the Fibonacci sequence, and the very structure of our DNA. When you stand in the shadow of this great pyramid, you are effectively being retuned. This is the real secret behind the reports of rapid aging. Pilgrims have reported hair and nails growing at 10 times the normal speed. In our previous discussion, we viewed this as a terrifying anomaly, but let us look closer. What if this is not decay, but an ultra-acceleration of biological processes? In a high-frequency environment, the mitochondria in your cells are forced to operate at a higher RPM. You are literally vibrating faster. For the Western seeker, this is the ultimate spiritual spa. It is not about religion, it is about resonance. Imagine a technology, thousands of years old, that can reset your nervous system. By simply meditating on the image of the peak, or listening to the low-frequency chants of the local monks, you are tapping into a global stabilization network. You are moving from a state of survival to a state of being. This is why we see a surge in the popularity of Tibetan singing bowls in Europe and America. They are physical tools designed to replicate the Kailash hum, allowing you to carry a fragment of this sacred frequency back to your home. If the mountain heals the body, what does it do to the mind? To understand this, we must look at the legendary kingdom of Shambhala. For decades, Western explorers searched for a physical city hidden in the valleys, but the High Lamas tell a different story. Shambhala is not a place you visit with your feet, it is a frequency you reach with your consciousness. The four faces of Mount Kailash are almost perfectly aligned with the cardinal directions. When the sun sets, the shadows form a massive, natural swastika, the ancient symbol of eternal energy. This geometric precision suggests that the mountain acts as a consciousness accelerator. Deep within our brains sits the pineal gland, often referred to as the third eye. In modern society, our pineal glands are often calcified by the chemicals in our water and the lack of sunlight. We lose our intuition. We lose our connection to the divine. However, the high-altitude, high-magnetic environment of Tibet acts as a massive energetic decalcifier. The time forbidden zone is a portal. In this area, the electromagnetic veil between our 3D reality and higher dimensions is at its thinnest. This is why thousands of people report lost time or vivid visions near the mountain. They aren't hallucinating. They are experiencing a multidimensional reality. Think of Mount Kailash as a massive router for human consciousness. It connects us to the Agartha network, the legendary subterranean civilization that ancient texts claim exists beneath the Himalayas. Whether Agartha is a physical underground city or a high vibrational state of existence, the entrance is here. By raising your internal vibration to match the 432 Hz pulse of the mountain, you effectively log in to a universal library of knowledge. This is the awakening that so many spiritual seekers are looking for. It is not something you achieve. It is something you remember. To truly master your own energy, you must understand the duality of the two sacred lakes at the base of the mountain. These are the lungs of the Axis Mundi. First, there is Lake Mansarovar. It is the sun. It is round, serene, and filled with fresh, life-giving water. In the philosophy of water memory, pioneered by researchers like Dr. Masaru Emoto, water is a carrier of information. Mansarovar has been the recipient of human prayer for 5 millennia. Its molecular structure is, quite literally, the geometry of peace. To look upon its blue surface is to see the reflection of your own highest potential. But just a few kilometers away lies its twin, Lake Rakshastal. It is the moon. It is crescent-shaped, salty, and turbulent. No fish live in its depths. No birds fly over its surface. It is the lake of the demon. In the West, we are taught to fear the shadow, to hide our demons. But in the Tibetan tradition, the presence of Rakshastal is essential. You cannot have the light of Mansarovar without the darkness of the twin lake. The mountain stands between them, acting as the bridge, the neutral point. This is the most important lesson for the modern world. True healing is not the absence of negativity. It is the balance of all forces. This is why the global grid requires a point like Kailash. It is the planetary grounding wire. It takes the chaotic, salt-heavy energy of our collective suffering and filters it through the mountain's crystalline structure, turning it back into the fresh, sun-drenched wisdom of Mansarovar. When we talk about spiritual wellness, we are talking about this balance. This is why the artifacts of this region, the stones, the metals, the fabrics, carry such weight. They have been bathed in this duality. They help you hold your own center when the world around you is in chaos. We are living in a time of great transition. The old systems are failing, and the noise of the world is getting louder. But the code of 6666 remains. The Axis Mundi remains. Mount Kailash is a silent sentinel at the top of the world, reminding us that we are part of a larger, magnificent design. It is a biological lighthouse, broadcasting a signal of healing and awakening to every corner of the globe. You don't need to travel to Tibet to feel its pulse. You only need to align your frequency. As you look at these 4K images of the sacred peak, remember that you are looking at your own reflection. You are a mountain of energy. You are a lake of consciousness. You are a code waiting to be decrypted. In our community, we are dedicated to bringing these high vibrational frequencies into your daily life. Through the sacred arts and ancient tools of the Himalayas, we help you connect to the source, no matter where you are in the world. The journey to the summit was never meant to be taken with your feet. It was always meant to be taken with your heart. Stay grounded, stay connected, and remember, The vibration of eternity is within you.